Hello and welcome to the Antiquarian Outlook for Week 5 of 2026, starting January 26th. I'm Spencer W. Stuart, Collections Advisor, author of Contemporary Issues and Rare Books and Manuscript Collecting, and host of the monthly webinar Collecting Insights. For more details on my services, publications, and programs, follow the links below, along with links to the various auctions we'll discuss in this program. All right, on to last week's results. Tuesday, Ader had photography books. There were 366 lots offered, of which 257 sold, making for a 70% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for lot 132, a complete run of photography, all 11 volumes, from 1930 through to 1947. Estimates were set at 800 to 1,200 euros, realizing just above 2,000 euros. A buy-in of note, lot 108, Jan Morvan's Champ de Bataille from 2015 signed. Estimates were set at 1,000 to 1,500 euros. Still with Tuesday, Sothebys had fine manuscripts and printed Americana. There were 15 lots offered, of which 9 sold, making for a 60% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for lot 514, an autograph letter signed by George Washington as commander of the Continental Army. Estimates were set at 1 million to 1.5 million US dollars, realizing just above 1 million US dollars. A buy-in of note, lot 501, an autograph letter signed by John Adams to Speaker of the House of Representatives, James Warren. Estimates were set at 150,000 to 250,000 US dollars. Next sale, Kedem Auctions had books, letters, and manuscripts. There were 314 lots offered, of which 301 sold, making for a 96% sell-through rate. Highest price realized generally within the sale was lot 234, a pair of Torah finials done in the Netherlands around 1814. Bidding started at 1,800 US dollars, realizing just above 18,000 US dollars. Within books and manuscripts, lot 131 was the highest price realized, an autograph letter signed by the Rabbi of Brisk from 1936. Bidding started at 3,000 US dollars, realizing just below 17,000 US dollars. A buy-in of note, lot 213, preparatory sketches for the New Kimberley Synagogue in South Africa, dated around 1902. Bidding was set to start at 2,500 US dollars. Finishing off Tuesday, New England Book Auctions had early printing, fine binding, and Americana, as well as material related to Frank Lloyd Wright. There were 218 lots offered, of which 207 sold, making for a 95% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 253, a typed letter corrected and signed by Frank Lloyd Wright to Arthur C. Holden, dated 1955. Bidding started at 1,000 US dollars, realizing 11,000 US dollars. On to Wednesday, Dominic Winter Book Auctions had printed books, maps, and documents. There were 507 lots offered, of which 498 sold, making for a 98% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 44, John Gould's The Birds of Great Britain in 5 volumes, a first edition, from 1862 through to 1873. Estimates were set at 30,000 to 40,000 pounds, realizing 30,000 pounds. A buy-in of note, lot 436, Henry James's The Bostonians, a novel in 3 volumes, published in 1886, a first edition and first issue. Estimates were set at 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. Next sale, Tessier et Sarrou had an online sale of movie posters. There were 600 lots offered, of which 428 sold, making for a 71% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was $215. This 1971 poster for the film Les Pétroleuses. The winning bid was just above 1,000 euros. On to Thursday, Forum Auctions had fine books, manuscripts, and works on paper. There were 263 lots offered, of which 220 sold, making for an 84% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 22, a collection of correspondences as well as documents relating to the first Viscount of Molesworth. Estimates were set at 10,000 to 15,000 pounds, realizing 19,000 pounds. A buy-in of note, lot 206, Bernard Moritz's photographic study of the Middle East from 1916. In folio format. Estimates were set at 15,000 to 20,000 pounds. Next sale, Freeman's had printed and manuscript Americana. There were 153 lots offered, of which 123 sold, making for an 80% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 29, a manuscript document in the hand of the Secretary of the Continental Congress, Charles Thompson, and boldly signed by the President of the Congress, John Hancock, appointing Benjamin Franklin, Silas Deane, as well as Thomas Jefferson as commissioners to France. Estimates were set at 150,000 to 250,000 US dollars, realizing just above 563,000 US dollars. A buy-in of note, lot 100, a presentation copy of Cary's American Pocket Atlas, inscribed by President Roosevelt to McGeorge Bundy in 1934. Estimates were set at $15,000 to $25,000 US. Next sale, Swann Galleries had the artists of the WPA. There were 302 lots offered, of which 267 sold, making for an 88% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 154, Dorothy Lang's Migrant Mother, taken in 1936, however printed in the 1970s. Estimates were set at $4,000 to $6,000 US, realizing $11,000 US. A buy-in of note, lot 104, Walker Evans's Mining Town, West Virginia, 1936, printed in the 1960s. Estimates were set at $4,000 to $6,000 US. Next sale, Potter & Potter Auctions had online-only fine book sale. There were 587 lots offered, of which 507 sold, making for an 86% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was for lot 177, an artfully bound copy of Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms, published in 1929. Estimates were set at $2,000 to $5,000 US, realizing $5,250 US. Next sale, RR Auctions had Steve Jobs and the Computer Revolution. There were 145 lots offered, of which all of them sold. Highest price realized within the general sale was lot 6003, the Celebration Apple I, earliest known fiberglass prototype used to validate Apple's first computer. Bidding started at $500,000, realizing just above $2.7 million US. Highest price realized within paper and ephemera, lot 6000, the historic Apple computer check number 1, signed by both Jobs and Wozniak. Bidding started again at $500,000, realizing just above $2.4 million. A lot that exceeded expectation was 6014, Apple Computer's first advertising poster, which was a gift that Steve Jobs gave to his father. Bidding started at $5,000 US, realizing just below $660,000 US. Final sale for Thursday, Ader had books, revolution, music, and children. There were 297 lots offered, of which 239 sold, making for an 80% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 176, a complete collection of 17 quartets for 2 violins, viola, and cello by Beethoven, published around 1827. Estimates were set at 150 to 180 euros, realizing just above 1,000 euros. A lot that exceeded expectation was 74. Rollins and Crevier's History of the Roman Republic, published between 1738 and 1748 in 16 volumes. Estimates were set at 180 to 220 euros, realizing 960 euros. Friday, Leyland Little Auctions had prints and photographs. There were 95 lots offered, of which 60 sold, making for a 63% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 7044, Barnett Newman's Untitled Etching No. 2 from 1969. The winning bid was $44,000 US. For a hyperlinked list of next week's auctions we have an eye on, please get in touch with us directly. As always, the Antiquarian Outlook is totally independent. Its producers do not hold inventory, nor do they represent any consignments or acquisitions mentioned. In the news, registration remains open for February sessions of Collecting Insights at the Emerging, Expanding, and Legacy levels. As always, registrants will receive a complimentary copy of Contemporary Issues in Rare Books and Manuscript Collecting. If you have any questions about the course content, please get in touch with us directly. We look forward to receiving your registration. Well, that's been the week from here. What did you think of last week's results? Please make sure to put some comments below and we'll keep the conversation going. Remember, if you want to stay up to date, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, and let others know about this program. Thanks again for tuning in. All for now. We'll see you next week.